Yes, so we are moving on with Pearson's product moment formula to measure the correlation between two variables. X is hours of study and Y is score. We are on the fourth number. Here it is. We have a bracket. Inside of the bracket, we are seeing the sum of X, and outside of the bracket, we are seeing a square. Let's go to some instructions as to how to go about finding this number. It says you have already obtained the total of X in step 2, because whenever you see a bracket in math, always look inside of the bracket first. According to BEDMAS, brackets first. You look inside of the bracket first, you complete what's inside of the bracket first, then you do your exponent, and then you multiply, divide, add, or subtract. So we have to look inside of the bracket. Inside of the bracket, say we have to add x's, find the sum of x. That's why the instruction says you have already obtained the total of x in step 2. So now we're going to square this value. All right, so this is why I normally call this number one of the easiest number to find in this formula, because it's only one thing we have to do now, because we have already found the sum of x. All right, so if you go to the table that is prepared, you will see that all you have is a bracket and a square. So in that bracket, you will put the sum of x and just square the sum of x and write the number that you get right here. Okay, so I repeat, for this number 4, the sum of x, which of course you have done it in step 2, so you must have a sum of x here. So for step number 4, just square that number, and this will be your number, your fourth number, okay, in that long formula. Doing it via Excel, we already have the sum of x. Here it is, 215 in this example. So I will type here sum of x in a bracket, the sum of x, all square, equal. Okay, so here we are squaring the sum of x. For number 3, if you take a close look at number 3, the third number, we have to square x then sum. So technically for step number 3, we are summing the squares. Okay, we are summing the squares. But in step number 4, we are squaring the sum. So there's a difference between summing the squares and squaring the sum. We are going to square the sum of x. 215 times 215. You can type that in your calculator, or Excel, you can just type equal A9 raised to the power of 2. Enter. 46,225. Okay? Normally call it an easy peasy. Just square the sum of x. So please do that. Always look at the videos with pen and paper to be writing. Either you write in your example, applying it, or you type in what you are looking at, because it's a skill that you are learning when it comes to mathematics.